Hi, my name is Alon Fisher. I am the student, and this is Sybil Fisher. She will be representing the client. This is for assessment 1A. Do you give permission to be recorded?
Yes, I do give permission to be recorded.
Hi, Michelle. Please come on through this way and take a seat there.
Thank you.
So my name's Alon. Very nice to meet you.
Hi, Alon.
How are you doing today? You find the place all right? Traffic wasn't too bad?
Yeah, traffic's always a nightmare, but yeah, I managed to find the parking, so...
Okay, great, excellent. Cool, just get comfortable. So for the session today, we have an hour session.
Yeah.
We're going to start off just with a bit of formalities, just got some information to go through. And then we will get into the session. I want to hear about what issues you're overcoming, and we can come up with some strategies to achieve them.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, lovely. I believe that my clients have the desire and the capacity to grow towards fulfilling their true potential, right? And I know that you are the expert on your own life, right? You know more about your life than I know about your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to offer you advice as to how to overcome the issues in your life, because you know more about your life than I do, right? I'm here to help you discover those solutions, and it'll be a mutual collaboration between you and I to get to some outcomes.
Okay, that sounds good.
Great. So in terms of confidentiality, everything you say in here is treated as highly confidential. Okay, what you say in this room stays in this room. There's only a few reasons why I would have to say it outside, break the confidentiality rule, right? And that is if I consider you to be a serious risk of harming yourself or of harming others, I will have to break that confidentiality rule. Or if we've been subpoenaed, right? And a court of law needs your records.
All right,
Okay. Another one is if another party or agency has requested to see your records as well. But in that, you would have to give written consent that they will see it, right? So you'll have to consent to that before. Also on top of that as well, I may need to discuss some of these things with my supervisor, and that just helps me become a better counselor as well. But in that, I will just use your first name, no other details about your personal details as well. Okay. Sessions, we're contracted to have 6 sessions, and they will happen once a week, an hour session each, and normally we'll meet the same time once a week as well.
Yeah.
Right. Each session is $120, and the payment will be taken at the beginning of each session, either by cash, FPass, credit card, or check. A late cancellation fee, so if you cancel from anywhere 24 hours before the session, it's a full session price, right? If you cancel 24 to 48 hours before the session, then it's half the price we take. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
Record keeping, I'm going to be taking notes during the session. Do you mind if I take notes during the session? Is that okay?
That's fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. So as long as I have your permission to take these notes, that'll be great. And they're going to be stored in a secure and private location as well. And I will hold on to these notes for about 7 years after your last session, just in case you come back and we have some information on you and your progress as well, which is good. Email or telephone contacts, it'll be limited to our practical arrangements only. I will not enter into telephone or email counseling except if we have a prior arrangement, but at the moment we don't. Okay, if you're faced with an emergency, please call 000 rather than calling me or the officers here. Ending the counseling session, usually it'll be done by a prior agreement. At the moment we have 6 sessions. If you want to go further, we can discuss that later on. However, if you do have the right to cancel your session at any time too, I'd appreciate if you did let me know at least 48 hours before a session if you did want to cancel too. And if you feel that the session is no longer appropriate for you, that's okay. You can cancel in that term as well, or if I find that I'm not the best counsellor for you, in a sense that what you're dealing with may need specialist counselling, I might refer you on to someone else.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get you just to sign and date the bottom of this. Do you have any questions about this before you sign?
No, I'm all good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Great, thank you very much. Alrighty, so at the moment we have about 15 minutes left of the session. And let me ask you, what brings you in today?
Oh, so I'm married with two children, two teenage children. I work in an accounting firm and I'm busy trying to get my CPA.
Okay.
And I'm just finding it extremely difficult to juggle the time, be with my kids, work full time. My husband works full time. Just finding it, I just feel very stressed and overwhelmed at the moment. Trying to get all my tutorials in for my CPA, and I just feel very overwhelmed at the moment. And I'm not really sure which direction and what to do, if I should just give it all up or what I should actually do.
Right, so you feel extremely overwhelmed with the work-life balance, the fact that you have this CPA that you, and when are you completing the CPA as well?
Well, it's my next tutorials are for 2 weeks time, so it will still take a while to complete it, but the tutorials, no, just completed in 2 weeks time. What am I saying?
Sorry, let me just get that right. So you're completing the...
I'm completing in 2 weeks time.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So let me just go back here. So you feel very overwhelmed, the fact that you that's all right. That you're so you work full time for an accounting agency?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you work full time for an accounting agency, you have a husband and 2 kids at home.
Yes.
And you find it very overwhelming to try balance work, the kids, the husband, and studying for the CPA that's going to be happening in 2 weeks' time as well. Okay. I can imagine that's a very stressful time.
Yeah, my head's just mind-boggled at the moment.
Okay. Alright, so to balance work-life. So you have a CPA in 2 weeks. Okay, right, and how is your relationship with your kids and family? Do you have a good relationship with them?
Yes, I do. I have 2 teenagers. My son's 17, my daughter's 15. They're great kids. I have a good relationship with them, but I just feel like I don't spend enough time with them at the moment. They're growing so quickly. This is the time I should be spending with them, and I'm just juggling my time around.
Right, so you would like to spend more time with your kids as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you enjoy work?
I love my work. I'm just finding it very challenging at the moment just to get the CPA done. Just having that extra time just to complete all my workload and my CPA that I need to get through.
Okay. So the real pressing issue here is you feel overwhelmed and you need...
With the extra studying.
Yeah, with the extra studying. So it's a sense of almost time management that you need help with.
Yes.
In order to balance that work life, so you still be able to spend time with your kids, but you can complete your CPA.
Yeah, I don't know whether I should just throw it all in and not do it, or whether I should just persevere and carry on and getting it done.
Okay, so let's identify some goals here. What are some goals that you'd like to achieve from our discussion here? What's something that you'd like to achieve?
Just how to manage my time better, how to find extra hours in the day to be able to study and get all my CPA stuff done, and spend time with my family.
Okay. Okay, so you'd like to, so goals would be time management?
Yeah.
And that would be spending time with your family and studying
And
at the same
studying.
time. And how are you, how do you deal with stress as well? Do you find that you're stressed a lot too?
I'm super stressed at the moment, and I just feel like everything's on my shoulders and I'm not coping so well.
Okay, so is that something that you would like to prioritize in terms of a goal as well, as dealing with stress?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right, well, let's maybe look at time management first.
Okay.
And let's discuss some different strategies to help with being able to juggle the CPA, studying with CPA, working and looking and taking care of the kids too. So what are some different interventions that we can take towards creating more time for you?
Well, I have thought of asking my boss for a little bit of time off.
Okay.
Or my husband to take a little bit of time off work for him, but he works full time. He's an architect, and I just feel really bad if he works full day and he normally goes to the gym after work. That's his stress release.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really to ask him for extra help is also I feel guilty.
Right. Okay.
I have thought maybe I should get a nanny.
Mm-hmm.
To maybe just help me. The kids have after school activities, to somebody who can drive to take them, pick them up, someone maybe who can cook some meals for me or do my shopping. Just I'm not really sure which channels where to go or what to do.
Okay. All right. So you have 3 really good options there. Can you think of anything else that just comes to the top of your mind? You could be creative. You could think of something completely obscure. There's, any strategy is a good strategy at this point, and then we'll go and break them down and see which one is actually going to work best.
Look, I've my friends are great. They've been doing a lot of lifts for me already.
Okay.
I feel bad for them also, and I feel bad for my kids because I feel like I'm not being there for them.
Right.
So, yeah, just pretty much. How do I get through this little time in my life where everything's just feeling like it's too much for me?
Okay. All right. Well, that's great. Let's break down the advantages and disadvantages of some of those, and let's see which one works out the best for you.
Okay.
So you said previously that you could ask your boss for some time off. What do you think are some advantages and disadvantages of asking your boss for some time off?
Look, the advantage is that if I do have some time off, I can complete my, all my work for my CPA and get through that. I'll have the extra time in the day. But the disadvantages is that I've worked so hard to get where I'm at in the firm at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm taking advantage, asking for him for a little bit of time off. I know he's a great boss and he will be fine with it if I do have a few hours off in the week, but I don't want him to think that I'm taking the easy way out, because it's taken me a long way to get to where I am now.
You feel like you'd be taking advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in terms of asking your husband for some time, for some help, with the kids, what are some advantages and disadvantages of that?
Look, he's a great husband. He's very supportive in what I do. He won't mind taking off, not going to gym after work and being there for the kids. But I just feel bad because I know he has a very stressful job, and that's his stress release.
Yeah.
But saying that he's willing to help me and he's happy to help me if I need the help.
Right. So on one hand,
it also will give him more time to be with the kids as well, which is a nice thing. But then I do know he needs his stress at the gym, like a stress free time for him as well at the gym after.
Okay. So on one
So-
hand it would help you, on the other hand it would create
It's
more stress for him.
Yes.
Okay. And then finding a nanny. What are some advantages or disadvantages of that? Because I know that you have 2 weeks. You said before your CPA. Is that a feasible thing to find a nanny in that time frame? What do you think?
I don't look. I'm hoping maybe I could straight away. I'll have to ask a few friends. I know a few friends of mine have nannies if they
Okay,
have
great.
spare time, or maybe if they work in an agency, I can phone an agency and ask. But it will obviously have to be somebody who gets along with my children.
Right.
They're not difficult children. They're very easy. But at the same time, you just want the perfect fit for them as well.
Right, and that's something that
And that's
may
important.
take time as well
Exactly.
to find the right person.
Yes.
Okay. Can you think of any other disadvantages? What about financial disadvantages? Is that something that you're concerned about?
Look, we do have 2 salaries, so I'm in a situation which is better than others. But we always want to obviously make more money and have more money. But we are in a situation where I could get a nanny and take a few hours for a short time. It won't be an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about asking your friends for help? What are some advantages and disadvantages?
Yeah, look, I already asked my friends for help. They're already, driving my children around to all their activities. I just feel bad because they are there for me. They're great friends, but it's me that feels bad, and I feel bad not doing it for my children.
Right.
Always having to rely on someone else. It just makes me feel like I'm a bad mother.
Right.
I feel bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds as though you enjoy time with your kids and that you value the time that you spend with your kids, and that seems like it is that a big priority for you that you don't want to give up?
Yes, it's very important. The kids grow up so quickly. They're already teenagers. Soon they'll be out the house. So yes, I want to spend as much time with them as I can.
Okay, great. So all of these are great strategies. Which just to recap as well. So you had asking your boss for some time off. You don't want to take advantage of the company, but it will give you a lot more time, especially when the kids are at school, to have time to study, and that way you can spend more time with the kids, which is a good advantage of that.
Yes.
And you can ask your husband for some time off, for some time to help, but that will also mean that he may be stressed because he doesn't get to go to the gym, but he also gets to spend more time with the kids, which is good too. You can find a nanny, which may take a bit of time to actually find, and you don't get to spend more time with the kids either, which is something that seems important to you. And then you could ask your friends for some help, but you already are and you don't want to intrude. And then it's the same situation as the nanny too, where you're not spending time with your kids. So which strategy do you think would be the best for you?
Well, sitting here, I'm thinking that maybe, I don't know, the best one would probably be to ask my boss for a few hours off during the week.
Yeah.
Just so I can get on top of things and get my CPA out of the way. And get that done.
Because I suppose it is just 2 weeks, so it's a lot more reasonable to ask your boss for time off being a short time frame rather than several months off.
Yes.
All right. Well, that sounds good. All right. So in terms of that, then, if that's a great goal, what can be your next step to achieving that goal? What needs to happen in order for you to have time off from work?
Look, I think I'll have to message my boss, set up a meeting with him, and ask him for some time off.
Okay, so setting up a meeting would be the first step.
Yes.
And how are you going to ask him for the whole 2 weeks off, or are you going to ask for certain days off? What are you thinking towards that?
I'm thinking maybe if I can get maybe like maybe 2 days off in the week, or a couple of hours I can leave earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just talk to him and see what's good for both the company and for me. Maybe 2 days off during the next 2 weeks, like 2 days or 3 days, or maybe just work mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to him and see what he suggests.
Okay, great. Well, that's a great thing. I think the first step would be creating that meeting, speaking to your boss, seeing what will work best for you and the company as well, and to get some time off, and then also just to keep in the back of your mind, if he doesn't allow you to have time off for whatever reason, like you said, nanny's a viable option, and even asking your husband for some time off might be appropriate as well, just considering that it's 2 weeks.
Yep.
As well. All right, so we're coming to the end of the session. We're almost at the end of the session, and I just want to acknowledge your progress as well. You made the goal to be able to manage your time more efficiently too, with the CPA and the kids and work. And so far you have come up with the idea of asking your boss for some time off, maybe 2 days out of the week, or maybe some mornings here and there. You'll have to speak to him and see what he says there. And that's a great way to deal with that time management as well. So I think next session we reassess that and see where that is. But I also had here that one of your goals was also to deal with stress.
Yes.
And I think that would be a priority. So would you like to prioritize that for the next session as well as?
Definitely, I definitely need a stress release strategy, how to cope with my stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially coming up to the CPA exam, you want to be very stress-free for that.
Well, if possible.
All right, so next week we can come up and discuss some different strategies in order to deal with some stress.
That will be great
as well. And then I'll be ready to hear from what your boss has to say as well.
Yeah.
Strategies. Okay, great. So that's excellent. That's really good. We have some stuff to work on in the next few weeks as well, dealing with stress and that time management. You have some progress on where you can go from here and moving forward as well. And then in the third session as well, just to mention, we're going to have a bit of a feedback session where you're going to give some feedback to me based on how our sessions have been going as well.
Okay, awesome.
So that's about our time. Do you have any other questions before you go?
No, I feel a lot better talking to you. Thank you.
All right, excellent.
I appreciate it.
Good. All right, we'll have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you next week at the same time.
Thanks, Alon.
No worries. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Part B to practical 1A. Question number 1 is, what have you written in each section of your counselling notes? I've written at the top the client's name, session number 1 of 6, and today's date, the 15th of the 10th, 23. Her goals is to manage her time, to create different ways to have more time to study, and also deal with stress using various techniques. Topics discussed today and outcomes. The topics discussed were the time management issues to balance work life and study life, as she has a CPA in 2 weeks and would like to spend more, so she would like to spend more time with her kids. And the outcome of this was asking her boss for some time off of work, and doing this by setting up a meeting to speak with her boss for potentially having 2 days off work. Interventions and strategies. Number 1 were asking the boss for time off. Number 2 was asking her husband for help. Number 3 was finding a nanny. And number 4 was asking for friends for help. In the next session, we're going to assess to see how the meeting went with her boss and to prioritize dealing with stress strategies. Question number 2 is, what will you write in each section of the counselling plan? The client's details at the top. Michelle Smith is 45 years old. She has no involvement in other agencies or referral information. Special notes needed, there's none noted. Safety reporting issues, none noted. Client's own identified priorities would be time management and stress management. Observe client requirements. She seemed overwhelmed with the stress from her CPA happening in 2 weeks, and being able to have work-life balance, mainly spending time with the kids as well. She seemed okay though. Happy to speak freely and come up with some solutions. Her goal is to create, some goals were to create more time to study while still spending time with kids, and also to come up with strategies to deal with stress. Monitoring, she will speak to her boss to see if she'll allow more time, see if he will allow more time to have off of work. And then we will get to dealing with techniques to deal with stress in the next session. Question number 3, reflect on and evaluate your use of counseling communication skills. So what went well? Let's see what went well. I think for the most part I asked some good open-ended questions as well as closed questions as well. I think the coming up with advantages and disadvantages pretty thoroughly went well for me. Yeah. And then what didn't work well? I think, and I also think what went well was reframing, paraphrasing, using using attending behaviours as well, and making her feel comfortable in the space too. What didn't work well, I think maybe I reflected on feelings and did too much talking in terms of reframing or paraphrasing a bit too much. I think I could have cut down on how much I did that, but still use it. And I think maybe getting her to elaborate a bit more on her circumstances, I could have done better that, so then they gather data stage. What would I have done differently? I would have maybe figured out better times to write down notes. I feel like sometimes while I was writing notes, she was talking and I may have even missed a few key points. So finding the right time to write down notes, or even shorten my notes into little dot points, so that I can be more attentive to her while she's speaking. What areas do you need to develop? I need to develop cutting down my talking time and asking the right questions in order to gather information, as well as maybe minimizing reframing and paraphrasing and reflecting on feelings, and only using them when it is needed and not repeating them so many times. What area, how will you develop these areas? Definitely practice practice my responses, do more of these, do more reflection of feelings and paraphrasing and attending behaviours in day-to-day life as well. And I think these assessments will help a lot as well with getting that initial nerves out too. I think being a bit nervous, maybe I was talking a bit more than I should have.